Welcome to RLP Audiobooks channel, the channel that brings forgotten books back to life in audio format, so you can listen to whenever and wherever you desire, whether you're driving, chilling, and even sleeping. Please consider subscribing to the channel and click the notifications button so you don't miss out on any other videos. Now, relax, listen, ponder, and enjoy.
Surah 10. Yunus. Context. Period of revelation. We learned from Hadith, the surah was revealed in Mecca. But there are some people who are of the opinion that some of its verses were revealed at Medina. This is, however, a superficial view. The continuity of the theme clearly shows that this does not comprise isolated verses or discourses that were revealed at different times and on different occasions. On the contrary, it is from the beginning to the end, a closely connected discourse which must have been revealed at one sitting. Besides this, the nature of its theme is itself a clear proof that the surah belongs to the Meccan period. The time of revelation. We have no hadith in regard to the time of its revelation, but its subject matter gives clear indication that it must have been revealed during the last stage of the Prophet's residence at Mecca. For the mode of the discourse suggests that at the time of its revelation, the antagonism of the opponents of the message had become so intense that they could not tolerate even the presence of the Prophet and his followers among themselves, and that things had come to such a pass as to leave no hope that they would ever understand and accept the message of the Prophet. This indicates that the last stage of the Prophet's life among the people had come, and the final warning, like the one in this surah, had to be given. These characteristics of the discourse are clear proof that it was revealed during the last stage of the movement at Mecca. Another thing that determines more specifically the order of the surahs of the last stage at Mecca is the mention, or absence of, some open or covert hint about emigration, hijrah, from Mecca. As this surah does not contain any hint whatsoever about this, it is a proof that it preceded those surahs which contain it. Now that we have specified the time of its revelation, there is no need of repeating its historical background, because that has already been stated in Surah 6, Al-An'am, and Surah 7, Al-A'raf. The subject matter. This discourse deals with the invitation to the message, admonition, and warning. In the very introductory verses, the invitation has been extended like this. The people consider it a strange thing that this message is being conveyed by a human being, and charge him with sorcery, whereas there is nothing strange in it, nor has it any connection with sorcery or soothsaying. It simply informs you of two realities. First, God, who has created the universe and manages it, is in fact your Master and Lord, and He alone is entitled to your worship. The second reality is that after the life in this world, there will be another life, in the next world, where you shall have to render full account of the life of this world, and be rewarded, or punished, according to whether you adopted the righteous attitude, as required by Him, after acknowledging Him as your Master, or acted against His will. Both of these realities which the messenger is presenting before you are realities in themselves, whether you acknowledge them as such, or not. He is inviting you to accept these, and regulate your lives in accordance with them. If you accept them, you will have a very blessed end. Otherwise, you shall be met with evil consequences. Surah 10. Yunus.
The Prophet Jonah.
In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Alif. Lam. Ra.
These are among the 14 opening letters, which occur in various combinations at the beginning of 29 surahs in the Qur'an. Although there has been much speculation as to their meaning, it was not in fact revealed by God to anyone, and is known only to Him.
These are the verses of the wise book.
The adjective, wise, expresses the qualities of will, purpose, discrimination, and precision.
Have the people been amazed that we revealed revelation to a man from among them, saying, warn mankind and give good tidings to those who believe, that they will have a sure footing with their Lord,
meaning a sure position, due to their righteous deeds.
But the disbelievers say, indeed this is an obvious magician. Indeed your Lord is God, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and then established himself above the throne, arranging the matter of his creation.
God states in the Quran that he has certain attributes, such as hearing, sight, hands, face, mercy, anger, coming, encompassing, being above the throne, etc. Yet, he has disassociated himself from the limitations of human attributes, or human imagination. Correct Islamic belief requires faith in the existence of these attributes, as God has described them, without comparing them to creation, or denying that he would have such a quality. His attributes are befitting to him alone, and there is nothing like unto him. Surah 42, verse 11.
There is no intercessor, except after his permission. That is God, your Lord, so worship him. Then will you not remember? To him is your return, altogether. It is the promise of God, which is truth. Indeed he begins the process of creation, and then repeats it, that he may reward those who have believed and done righteous deeds, in justice. But those who disbelieved will have a drink of scalding water, and a painful punishment, for what they used to deny. It is he who made the sun, an illumination, and the moon, a light, and determined for its phases, that you may know the number of years, and account of time. God has not created this, except in truth. He details the signs, for a people who know. Indeed in the alternation of the night, and the day, and in what God has created in the heavens, and the earth, are signs for a people who fear God. Indeed those who do not expect the meeting with us, and are satisfied with the life of this world, and feel secure therein, and those who are heedless of our signs, for those their refuge, will be the fire, because of what they used to earn. Indeed those who have believed, and done righteous deeds, their Lord will guide them, because of their faith. Beneath them, rivers will flow in the gardens of pleasure. Their call therein will be, exalted are you, O God, and their greeting therein will be, peace. And the last of their call will be, praise to God, Lord of the worlds. And if God was to hasten for the people the evil they invoke,
in anger, or in heedlessness,
as he hastens for them the good, their term would have been ended for them.
Meaning, God would have destroyed them, on account of that.
But we leave the ones, who do not expect the meeting with us, in their transgression, wandering blindly. And when affliction touches the human being, he calls upon us, whether lying on his side, or sitting, or standing, but when we remove from him his affliction, he continues in disobedience, as if he had never called upon us, to remove an affliction that touched him. Thus, is made pleasing to the transgressors, that which they have been doing. And we had already destroyed generations before you, when they wronged, and their messengers had come to them, with clear proofs, but they were not to believe. Thus do we recompense the criminal people. Then we made you successors in the land, after them, so that we may observe how you will do. And when our verses are recited to them, as clear evidences, those who do not expect the meeting with us, say, bring us a Qur'an, other than this, or change it. Say, O Muhammad, it is not for me to change it, on my own accord. I only follow what is revealed to me. Indeed I fear, if I should disobey my Lord, the punishment of a tremendous day. Say, if God had willed, I would not have recited it to you, nor would he have made it known to you, for I had remained among you, a lifetime before it.
The Prophet lived among his people 40 years, before receiving any revelation.
Then will you not reason? So, who is more unjust than he? who invents a lie about God, or denies his signs. Indeed, the criminals will not succeed. And they worship other than God, that which neither harms them, nor benefits them, and they say, these are our intercessors with God. Say, do you inform God of something he does not know in the heavens, or on the earth? Exalted is he, and high above what they associate with him. And mankind was not but one community, united in religion, but then they differed. And if not for a word,
God's decree, to allow time on earth for his creation, or not to punish anyone before evidence has come to him,
that proceeded from your Lord, it would have been judged between them immediately, concerning that, over which they differ. And they say, why is a sign not sent down to him from his Lord? So, say, the unseen is only for God to administer. So wait, indeed I am with you, among those who wait. And when we give the people a taste of mercy, after adversity has touched them, at once they conspire against our verses. Say, God is swifter in strategy. Indeed our messengers,
angels,
record that which you conspire. It is he who enables you to travel on land and sea, until, when you are in ships, and they sail with them.
The change in pronoun, from the second to third person, shows that the following description applies specifically to the disbelievers.
By a good wind, and they rejoice therein, there comes a storm wind, and the waves come upon them, from everywhere, and they assume that they are surrounded,
doomed,
supplicating God, sincere to him in religion. If you should save us from this, we will surely be among the thankful. But when he saves them, at once they commit injustice.
By oppression and disobedience, or by invoking others, besides God,
upon the earth, without right. O mankind, your injustice is only against yourselves, being merely the enjoyment of worldly life. Then to us is your return, and we will inform you of what you used to do. The example of this worldly life is but like rain, which we have sent down from the sky, that the plants of the earth absorb, those from which men and livestock eat, until, when the earth has taken on its adornment,
and is beautified,
and its people suppose that they have capability over it, there comes to it our command, by night, or by day, and we make it as a harvest.
Its vegetation having been cut down, or uprooted, meaning utterly destroyed,
as if it had not flourished yesterday. Thus, do we explain in detail the signs for a people who give thought. And God invites to the home of peace,
paradise,
and guides whom he wills to a straight path. For them who strive for excellence will get the best reward, and extra.
In addition to the pleasures of paradise, they will be able to see God, as reported in an authentic hadith, narrated by Muslim.
No darkness will cover their faces, nor humiliation. Those are companions of paradise, they will abide therein, eternally. But they, who have earned blame for evil doings, the recompense of an evil deed is its equivalent, and humiliation will cover them. They will have from God no protector. It will be as if their faces are covered with pieces of the night, so dark are they. Those are the companions of the fire, they will abide therein, eternally. And mention, O Muhammad, the day we will gather them all together. Then we will say, to those who associated others with God, remain in your place, you and your partners.
Those they had associated with God.
Then we will separate them
from the believers.
And their partners will say, you did not use to worship us.
The inanimate objects, such as idols, will not have been aware of their worship of them. But those beings, who consented to be worshipped, will lie and deny it on the day of judgment.
And sufficient is God, as a witness between us and you, that we were of your worship, unaware. There, on that day, every soul will be put to trial for what it did previously, and they will be returned to God, their Master, the truth, and lost from them is whatever they used to invent. Say, Who provides for you, from the heaven and the earth? Or who controls hearing and sight, and who brings the living out of the dead, and brings the dead out of the living, and who arranges every matter? They will say, God. So say, then will you not fear him? For that is God, your Lord, the truth. And what can be beyond truth, except terror? So how are you averted? Thus, the word,
decree,
of your Lord, has come into effect, upon those who defiantly disobeyed, that they will not believe. Say, are there of your partners, any who begins creation, and then repeats it? Say, God begins creation, and then repeats it, so how are you deluded? Say, are there of your partners, any who guides to the truth? Say, God guides to the truth. So is he, who guides to the truth, more worthy to be followed, or he, who guides not, unless he is guided? Then what is wrong with you, how do you judge? And most of them follow not, except assumption. Indeed, assumption avails not, against the truth, at all. Indeed, God is knowing, of what they do. And it was not possible, for this Qur'an to be produced by other than God. But it is a confirmation, of what was before it, and a detailed explanation of the former book, about which there is no doubt.
This phrase refers back to the Qur'an.
From the Lord, of the worlds. Or do they say about the Prophet, he invented it? Say, then bring forth a surah like it, and call upon for assistance whomever you can besides God, if you should be truthful. Rather, they have denied that which they encompass not in knowledge, and whose interpretation has not yet come to them. Thus, did those before them deny. Then observe how was the end of the wrongdoers. And of them, are those who believe in it, and of them, are those who do not believe in it. And your Lord is most knowing, of the corrupters. And if they deny you, O Muhammad, then say, for me are my deeds, and for you, are your deeds. You are disassociated from what I do, and I am disassociated from what you do, and among them are those who listen to you. But can you cause the deaf to hear?
Benefit
from this hearing, although they will not use reason? And among them are those who look at you. But can you guide the blind, although they will not attempt to see? Indeed, God does not wrong the people at all, but it is the people who are wronging themselves. And on the day when he will gather them, it will be as if they had not remained in the world but an hour of the day, and they will know each other. Those will have lost, who denied the meeting with God, and were not guided. And whether we show you some of what we promised them, O Muhammad, or we take you in death, to us is their return. Then, either way, God is a witness concerning what they are doing. And for every nation is a messenger. So, when their messenger comes,
to witness on the day of judgment. Another meaning is, once a messenger has come to them in this world,
it will be judged between them, in justice, and they will not be wronged. And they say, when is the fulfillment of this promise, if you should be truthful? Say, I possess not for myself any harm or benefit, except what God should will. For every nation is a specified term. When their time has come, then they will not remain behind an hour, nor will they precede it. Say, have you considered, if his punishment should come to you? By night, or by day, for which aspect of it would the criminals want to hasten?
Impatience refers to the disbelievers' ridicule of the Prophet, by telling him to produce God's punishment, as proof of his truthfulness.
Then is it that, when it has actually occurred, you'll believe in it now?
Meaning, when it is too late to benefit from belief.
Whereas, you had been seeking to hasten it?
Challenging those who warned of it, to bring it on immediately.
Then it will be said to those who had wronged, taste the punishment of eternity. Are you being recompensed, except for what you used to earn? And they ask information of you, O Muhammad, is it true? Say, yes, by my Lord, indeed it is truth, and you cannot escape
it.
And if each soul that wronged had everything on earth, it would offer it in ransom. And they will confide regret, when they see the punishment. And they will be judged in justice, and they will not be wronged. Surely to God belongs whatever is in the heavens, and the earth. Surely, the promise of God is true, but most of them do not know. He gives life and causes death, and to Him you will be returned. O mankind, there has come to you an admonition from your Lord, and healing for what is in the breasts, and guidance, and mercy for the believers. Say, in the bounty of God, and in His mercy.
In that, let them rejoice.
It is better than what they accumulate. Say, have you seen what God has sent down to you, of provision, of which you have made some lawful, and some unlawful? Say, has God permitted you to do so, or do you invent something about God? And what will they think?
Those who invent falsehood
About God, on the day of resurrection?
Meaning, what do they think He will do with them?
Indeed, God is full of bounty to the people, but most of them are not grateful. And O Muhammad, you are not engaged in any matter, or recite any of the Qur'an, and you people do not do any deed, except that we are witness over you, when you are involved in it. And not absent from your Lord is any part of an atom's weight,
or the weight of a small ant,
within the earth, or within the heaven, or anything smaller than that, or greater, but that it is in a clear register. Surely, for the friends of God, there will be no fear concerning them, nor will they grieve.
Those who believed
and were fearing God. For them are good tidings in the worldly life, and in the hereafter. No change is there in the words,
decrees
of God. That is what is the great attainment. And let not their speech grieve you. Indeed, honor, due to power, belongs to God, entirely. He is the hearing, the knowing. Surely, to God belongs whoever is in the heavens, and whoever is on the earth. And those who invoke other than God, do not actually follow His partners. They follow not, except assumption, and they are not, but falsifying. It is He, who made for you the night, to rest therein, and the day giving sight.
Meaning, making things visible.
Indeed, in that are signs for a people who listen. They,
the Christians, and others,
have said, God has taken a son. Exalted is He is the one free of need. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens, and whatever is in the earth. You have no authority for this claim. Do you say about God, that which you do not know? Say, indeed those who invent falsehood about God, will not succeed. For them is brief enjoyment in this world, then to us is their return, then we will make them taste the severe punishment, because they used to disbelieve. And recite to them the news of Noah, when he said to his people, O my people, if my residence, and my reminding
of the signs of God
has become burdensome upon you, then I have relied upon God. So resolve upon your plan, and call upon your associates. Then let not your plan be obscure to you.
Meaning, do not let it be a source of doubt or anxiety to you, but let it be clear, open, and defined.
Then carry it out upon me, and do not give me respite. And if you turn away from my advice, then no payment have I asked of you. My reward is only from God, and I have been commanded to be of the Muslims, those who submit to God. And they denied Him, so we saved him and those with him in the ship, and made them successors, and we drowned those who denied our signs. Then see how was the end of those who were warned. Then we sent after him messengers to their peoples, and they came to them with clear proofs. But they were not to believe in that which they had denied before.
Meaning, the succeeding generations were persistent in disbelief.
Thus, we seal over the hearts of the transgressors. Then we sent after them Moses and Aaron to Pharaoh and his establishment with our signs, but they behaved arrogantly, and were a criminal people. So when there came to them the truth from us, they said, "Indeed this is obvious magic." Moses said, "Do you say thus, about the truth, when it has come to you. Is this magic? But magicians will not succeed. They said, have you come to us, to turn us away from that, upon which we found our fathers, and so that you too, may have grandeur in the land? And we are not believers in you. And Pharaoh said, bring to me every learned magician. So when the magicians came, Moses said to them, throw down whatever you will throw. And when they had thrown, Moses said, what you have brought is only magic. Indeed, God will expose its worthlessness. Indeed, God does not amend the work of corrupters. And God will establish the truth by his words, even if the criminals dislike it. But no one believed Moses, except some offspring,
youths,
among his people, for fear of Pharaoh and his establishment, that they would persecute them. And indeed Pharaoh was haughty within the land, and indeed he was of the transgressors. And Moses said, O my people, if you have believed in God, then rely upon him. If you should be Muslims, submitting to him. So they said, upon God do we rely. Our Lord, make us not objects of trial, for the wrongdoing people. And save us by your mercy, from the disbelieving people. And we inspired to Moses and his brother, settle your people in Egypt.
In houses.
And make your houses, facing the Qibla.
In order that they might pray therein, unseen by their enemy.
And establish prayer, and give good tidings to the believers. And Moses said, Our Lord, indeed you have given Pharaoh and his establishment splendor and wealth in the worldly life, our Lord, that they may lead men astray from your way. Our Lord, obliterate their wealth, and harden their hearts, so that they will not believe, until they see the painful punishment. God said, Your supplication has been answered.
Literally, the supplication of both of you, meaning that of Moses, and of Aaron, who joined by saying, Amen. O God, respond.
So remain on a right course, and follow not the way of those who do not know. And we took the children of Israel across the sea, and Pharaoh and his soldiers pursued them in tyranny and enmity, until when drowning overtook him, he said, I believe that there is no deity except that, in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am of the Muslims. Now? And you had disobeyed him before, and were of the corrupters? Today we will preserve your body.
Meaning, his dead body will be preserved, and not destroyed.
So you can be a sign for people who come after you. Indeed many people are heedless of our signs, and we had certainly settled the children of Israel in an honorable settlement, and provided them with good things. And they did not differ, until after knowledge had come to them. Indeed your Lord will judge between them, on the day of resurrection, concerning that over which they used to differ. So if you are in doubt about that which we have revealed to you, then ask those who have been reading the book before you. The truth has certainly come to you from your Lord, so never be among the doubters. And never be of those who deny the signs of God, and thus be among the losers.
Among the interpretations of the last two verses is that they were meant to stir the prophet to declare and confirm his certainty, which he did. Another is that although the words are addressed to the prophet, they are directed to all people.
Indeed those upon whom the word,
decree,
of your Lord has come into effect, will not believe, even if every sign should come to them, until they see the painful punishment. Then, has there not been a single city that believed? So its faith benefited it, except the people of Jonah? When they believed, we removed from them the punishment of disgrace in worldly life, and gave them enjoyment,
provision,
for a time. And had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed, all of them entirely. Then O Muhammad, would you compel the people, in order that they become believers? And it is not, for a soul,
meaning, anyone,
to believe, except by permission of God, and he will place defilement.
Among its meanings are filth, wrath, punishment, disbelief, confusion, and error.
upon those who will not use reason. Say, observe what is in the heavens and the earth. But of no avail will be signs or warners to a people who do not believe. So do they wait, except for like
what occurred in
the days of those who passed on before them. Say, then wait, indeed I am with you, among those who wait. Then we will save our messengers, and those who have believed. Thus it is an obligation upon us, that we save the believers
from God's punishment.
Say, O Muhammad, O people, if you are in doubt as to my religion, then, I do not worship those which you worship, besides God, but I worship God, who causes your death. And I have been commanded to be of the believers, and commanded, direct your face,
self,
toward the religion, inclining to truth, and never be of those who associate others with God, and do not invoke, besides God, that which neither benefits you, nor harms you. For if you did, then indeed you would be of the wrongdoers.
Among the interpretations of the last two verses, is that they were meant to stir the prophet, to declare, and confirm, his certainty, which he did. Another is that, although the words are addressed to the prophet, they are directed to all people.
And if God should touch you with adversity, there is no remover of it, except him, and if he intends for you good, then there is no repeller of his bounty. He causes it to reach whom he wills of his servants. And he is the forgiving, the merciful. Say, O mankind, the truth has come to you from your Lord. So whoever is guided, is only guided for the benefit of his soul. And whoever goes astray, only goes astray, in violation against it. And I am not over you, an appointed guardian. And follow what is revealed to you, O Muhammad, and be patient, until God will judge. And he is the best of judges.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed listening to this book, please give it a like, and consider subscribing to the channel, and click the notifications button, so you don't miss out on any other videos.